Lord, and he heard, and he answered, and he delivered me from my fears. Psalms 34:4. Hey dandelions, and welcome back to your weekly Wednesday wellness check with your bestie 𝓑𝓮𝓰. And before we get started, please take a deep breath with me and count down from 10. You ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, dandelions. So it has been 11 years. Can I tell you a story? Can I do something different for this Wednesday wellness? So 11 years ago, my current best friend, she went to a concert. And while she was gone to this concert, my parents were on a cruise. My friend, we were roommates. And so while she was gone to the concert, I was alone. Me and her had just met. We weren't really close. I wasn't, it was a concert. She was going to do it. That's not the point. Point is, I wasn't going to the concert, okay? I was not. So I was in my room by myself. And this particular season in my life, I got caught up in just online relationships, friendships, trying to have them. And I was always seeking validation. I wanted to feel less alone. I wanted to feel like somebody cared about me, that somebody related to me in some form of fashion. But what I got instead was more ridicule, more backlash, more persecutions about my character and who I was as a person and the value of life that I held. And because I was so concerned with other people's perceptions of me, I was willing to accept what they had to say. Every bad critique, every negative thing. Well, some of my favorite comments. I looked like I had got my wig out of a trash can. I looked like my parents only fed me from McDonald's. I was fat. I was ugly. I couldn't sing. My voice was horrible. I sounded like a siren. I looked trashy. My red hair didn't fit me. It was just a lot of things about everything I wasn't and nothing about what I was. And I was so consumed with this world and the inhabitants of this world that I decided it was better for me if I just wasn't around anymore. And excuse me, not better for me. It was better for my family. It was better for the ones that I love the most. If I was never going to make anything of myself, if I was just putting my mom in debt, if I was a horrible best friend, if I was a horrible human being, surely me taking my life would be the way, right? It would stop the suffering, right? It would just make it better, right? But you know what I thought about in those moments? First, I thought about the Lord because I was like, Lord, I don't want to go to hell. Like, forget, bump all of that. I don't want to go to hell. As much, even at that age, as much as I've suffered, you can't get out of hell. I'm sorry. Like, once that is sealed, it's there. Like, I didn't want it. So that was my first criteria. Like, Lord, if you can save my soul because I don't want to go to hell, like, that would be appreciated, sir. But then it really seriously moved on to, like, thinking about my mom. She was on a cruise. She couldn't get to me. Last time we had talked, I was fine. So what happens to her when she gets on land or the police comes to find her wherever she is to tell her about her daughter? The one person she thought would tell her everything. What about my best friend? The one who was at the concert living her life, having the most fun. What would have happened if she would have came back in that room and saw me like that? What if she would have saw me like that? With what I wanted to do, with my selfish intentions. I wanted to stop hurting. I wanted to end the pain, but it was selfish because it would have hurt them. It would have destroyed them, and I know that. And I know it even more because when I told my mom about it, finally, she confessed to me that the whole time she knew something was wrong. And they prayed for me, her and my father. And so I cried that night. I cried a lot, y'all. I cried. I just kept saying, Lord, just save me. I'm brokenhearted. I'm depressed. And I just need you to save me. And he did. There was no like, oh, it was very broken. It was very broken. It was very like, Lord, there's a knife. Here's my heart. And I just don't want it anymore. So 11 years later, here I am. 29. A life that I didn't even see coming into fruition has made its way back to me. It has been 11 years, and I'm not saying that every day since then has been easy. Okay, I ain't saying every day has felt worth it, but in the end, I know what I say when I say your life is so much more than you know, and it is worth fighting for, and it is yours, and there is nobody like you, and there's nobody who's valuable to this earth in the way that you are. So don't think for a second that your life does not matter or that you don't deserve to be here, because you do. You deserve great things in this life. You deserve to experience life, the highs and the lows, because that's what makes life. And even when it gets hard, and even when you are unsure, first remember, we have somebody who died for us. He died so that you could be alive, so that I could be alive. He shed his blood so that you could keep yours in your body. And on the same coin, as just one human to another, you will hurt, and that's okay, because it's life. We hurt, we go through things, we have moments where we just hurt, but that's not a reason for you to stop fighting for your life. People love you. People need you, and you are valuable. So don't think for a second that you're just another life. Even just being alive, it is so much more important. Those words are so much more important than you could ever know. And so, on today, please just rest. Don't be stressed. Be so gentle on your mental, and clap it up for thugging it out in this week, okay? You've made it to the halfway point of a thuggish, ruggish week, okay? And you're doing amazing. You don't know where you're gonna go or end up if you just don't get on the move and go. I never saw myself here. I never saw myself alive here. So let that sink in for you on this Wednesday Wellness. At one point in time, this version of me, I wanted the enemy to make me believe she was not worthy of life. And what would have happened had I killed her prematurely? So, on today, please do remember that the Lord does love and bless you. May He keep you. I love you. I believe in you. And I hope whenever you hear this, you have the most incredible, blessed of days, or the most amazing, blessed, incredible of nights. It is well, and you will make it in the land of the living. I love you. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, guys.